and before I started, but then I saw the time and I realized I probably should just hop on in here like this without my camera for a second. So here I am. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Friday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh dear. I don't know where that just came from. But hey guys, hey. How's everybody doing today? I'm definitely well rested this morning. It feels much better. I don't have that dull headache, thank God. But it did also rained. It rained a decent amount to where I think maybe the pressure has fixed itself. Let me set my thing up real fast. All right. I might actually do it. I'm doing it. By golly. I'm doing it. How do I have this thing set up? I always feel like the setting up on this is so different every morning. Wah! I got a little bit of an update on the situation we witnessed live and in person in Chesapeake. And it's a crazy one. I mean, I could not have made that up. Like if I thought of the craziest story ever to occur. Hold on, guys. Good morning. Oh my God, I pulled a dolly. I pulled a dolly at home. I did dolly. I literally just started and had a whole ass conversation with you guys on mute. Lord Jesus, help me. I pulled a dolly. Now I gotta rethink what I just said. Like I literally had a whole conversation. Okay, rewind. Let's try this one more time. Don't be dolly at home. Okay. I turn on the YouTubes and it can mouse live with another police showdown. And I'm like, another one. In my best DJ Khaled voice, like, another one, and another one. And then I wanted to sing, another one bites the dust, another one bites the dust. Helena! I love that little thing. It's so cute. But yeah, and so I wanted to give you guys an update. The incident in Chesapeake with the 2 officers that were hit with stray bullets, basically, because they went through the door. It is a sad story. And it gets crazier. I can't get over the dude dying at the... Same. I'm getting there. Thank you, Gopher. Thank you so much. I was in the car for the most of it when we pulled up on scene. And I'm literally like, I was going on 4 hours of sleep. And then I was going to go on like 2 more hours of sleep. Like basically last week has been like a total of maybe 12 hours of sleep total. But we get to scene. And so it is reported on the scanner as 4 victims. And then 2 officers hit through the door. And a domestic situation. The police was called. The female was in the apartment screaming, "Help me." Well, when I go to our local newspaper that I pay $1 for the whole year, thank God. But it's like you can't access it unless you have access because they let you see like 2 articles and then they're like, all right, now you have to pay. Anyways, I go there and it's like neighbors tell horrific story. And I'm like, okay, this is clickbaitish. I'll read it, sure. And it's like the neighbor that called the police. And anybody that's domestic violence, anybody that's got DV triggers, your time to turn off now. Like, it literally is that bad. This poor young woman, 27 years old, And they do not have her name in the article. We have some magical turtle sleuths that have discovered who it is. I'm not going to say because I have not seen it anywhere publicly. We do have her name though, but she is 27 years old and she has had an on and off relationship allegedly with this male, and it was about 1.5 years. And then there's all of these court documents to record their tumultuous relationship. Like 2 incidences within the last 6 months of where he's shown up drunk, tried to make up with her because they were fighting or broken up or whatever, and then when she would decline his sexual advances, he would go into manic rage, and then he'd finally probably go to sleep because the drinking had worn off or whatever, and then she'd get to call the cops and leave. Protective order. Second time, protective order. Similar story. So now, we've got this poor young woman in this apartment screaming for help. Okay, yeah, my mother just called, so I had to tell her real fast that I was on live stream. All right, where was I at? Yeah, so, Gopher, you've got to get through this, man. Come on, we can do this. We're praying for you, definitely, for strength and I believe you said you were in the hospital, so the hospital staff. Just be thankful you are not at a hospital, that this man that committed these crimes, allegedly. Thank you, Rosemary. Exactly. We got a domestic violence hotline there for anyone that's... Okay, protective order. Thank you. Yeah, so she had gotten 2 protective orders, which I've always thought of those as like a piece of paper, but I've always known you have to utilize those because for me personally, there was one instance. So I had one time. And my thought process was like, if the person came anywhere near me, I feel as if this piece of paper would hold up and help me to have in order to show why I beat the heck out of this person. You know what I mean? So, but for the most part, it's like, it's a piece of paper. What's this going to really do, really? So this man apparently got into her home. It was her home. She's on the phone with her mother. And the neighbor says, all I could hear her saying was, "You're not supposed to be here," and screaming for help, while this male who's not supposed to be there is in her home. And I'm reading this article and I'm thinking like, this is just horrific. Horrific. And why was this guy allowed out on the street? Nobody's really being, like, anytime that people get locked away, like, there's no type of rehabilitation. They're all just being allowed to come right back out into society without any type of, like, what do we got to do to, like, fix it? It's like, we as a society have come, it's 2025. We've come to such a point where it's like, what do you do? Where do you go from here? Who do you call? Who's going to come help fix this? Because it's like every single day there's another one, and then another one, and then another one, and they're all walking the streets among us. And then imagine the ones that haven't really even been caught. So then I find out, this 27-year-old DV victim had no help from anybody, was on the phone with her mama, like, while this was occurring. So, like, Jesus Christ, this poor family knew this man was disgusting, sick, needed to get away from her, and refused to. And now this man, this coward, allegedly jumped out a back window, which is why they couldn't find him, and he was gone, because he's a coward. And of course, just like Dolly said, I don't know if he said it while he was live. He said it while we were driving down away from the scene while we were there. He's like, bet you they're going to his mama's house next. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, and I wasn't really thinking about it. But this man was found the next morning at his parents' home. So they have this standoff with him at that home. And what's being said in the news articles is that he finally comes out after a standoff with the police. And there's pictures and there's a couple of videos. So I've managed to find and see the pictures of the event in Portsmouth where his parents were, where they went to go arrest him. Well, according to articles, they took him in and he obtained superficial wounds on his arm, which it says from that event. But for me, I think maybe it came from the event prior, from the night before, because if he jumped from a window, jumped out of window, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It says that he obtained superficial wounds on his arms during the standoff. And so they had to transport him to a hospital based on his superficial wounds. But when you look at the photos of the event, he's sitting on the ground. There's no visible blood on him. There's no visible blood anywhere in the photographs. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, so then I read they send him to Maryview. This particular hospital in our area is literally known as Murderview. Like, it's called Maryview, but people around here know it as Murderview. And like, if somebody goes to that hospital, you're instantly like one of my relatives, absolutely not. You're not going to that. Like, if the ambulance is in the area of where it's going to be going there, I will physically drive you myself before I'll let you go to Murderview. Do you know what I mean? So like, he supposedly went to Murderview, and then he had a medical event, which as a previous EMT, thank you, Helena. As a previous EMT, I personally know that a medical event could be basically anything. Like, he could have choked to death. He could have had a staph infection. He could have had he could have had anything. There could have been anything there for a medical emergency. He could have swallowed a bunch of dope, and then freaking by the time that it went through and passed through, he could have had a medical emergency. So we truly have no clue what occurred and never will, which I don't really care. The guy was clearly a POS. Maybe his parents didn't know what. Helena, thank you so much. But yeah, it's terrible. There's not going to be an autopsy, right? And if they do announce a cause of death or whatever, I believe it's going to be like a something he did prior, like he ingested before he was arrested. But I don't know, because he seems like a coward. He seems like a coward. He doesn't seem like somebody, because I mean, if he wanted to unalive, he should have just done it before he unalived the poor woman. There's no autopsy so far. I was reading a comment that said no autopsy. So, I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll see. It's just fascinating. I'm, like, instant karma is what I thought of at first, but then I was like, I'm not the judge, jury, or executioner, so it's kind of wrong for me to think that way. But at the same time, it's like, it's fascinating to me, because it's like, how does that happen? Finally, we get this whole like, oh, he's been caught. And then it's like, oh, he's dead. And I'm just like, huh, he's not going to get to face judge, jury, or executioner. And now he's just basically gone. Like, he just exited from the scenario, from the situation. And I just like, I don't know. I've been in a DV situation myself. I don't know really how I truly feel about it, because I just feel like it's like the story's now just over and he's never going to get to pay for his crimes. I wonder if he took something as parents and then yeah, I think it was. PJ, I was saying the same thing last night. I believe he may have ingested something before. He had to have, because the wounds supposedly that they're mentioning in the article say superficial wounds. And then when you look at the pictures of him being arrested, some of the neighbors took pictures, and I think there's a video or two. It's just like, he just looks normal. He's sitting on the ground with no shirt on and some shorts. He's got no blood anywhere on him. He's got no signs of being arrested other than he's sitting on the ground handcuffed. And so how did he suddenly get, and then there's, of course, all the people talking about how, police, and he hurt the police, so there he got back they got the revenge on him while they had him in custody. It's not that easy to do that, because then there would be record of him looking a certain way, because, you're not just going to unalive somebody with your thumb, like back in the old days, like the magical thumb and you're out technique by the mob, I don't know what I'm talking about. You can tell I'm naive. I don't know anything about crime. But I gotta run. It's a great day. I may have to show you guys a surprise this weekend. It seems as though my man might have bought me a new car. But shh, don't tell anybody yet. It's not official, so I didn't want to say it. But you don't even know. It is amazing. I've never had anything that freaking amazing in my life, ever. I have to show you guys. And I can't hold it in. I'm fully being a dolly today. I literally couldn't even, I thought I was going to do a great job keeping my secret. But I can't wait. It's a 24 Acura Integra white, pearl white. I couldn't believe it. It's got less than 10,000 miles on it. And, yeah. I'm so excited. I can barely contain myself. And now I have to go in here and go to work. And I'm just going to be like, I know everybody deserves a dolly in their life. Yeah, they do. So, yeah. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for being here with me. I will. And I was going to go live about this longer, and I was thinking, I'm like, I should go do it at lunch. That way I have more time. And then I'm like, I've been working through lunch. I haven't even had a lunch. But yeah. All right. I gotta run. You guys are great. Thanks so much for being here with me every day. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bicycle.